Hi folks, how you doing? Today I'm going to introduce you to Mia. She's my latest baby, and she was hatched 8/14, so today's 10/31, October 31st, so she is about 10 weeks old, and this is usually the time where they start to fledge, really. One thing I want to show you about Mia is, I think this is really important on why my birds, people always comment my birds are raised so great, they're so smart, they're so sociable, they're so well behaved. And I think part of that has to do with the way that I raise them. Because it takes about 5 months until they're weaned, right? So 18 weeks, between 18 and 20 weeks is the average weaning time. Now, what I do, you'll see, Mia's right behind me. You can kind of see her over there. She's, you can see her in her bin there, and she's just started to climb out of that. I think she made her first flight last week. And what's kind of interesting is, see, okay, she's not in a cage. I don't cage my babies until I absolutely have to. In other words, for their safety when I'm not home. Like if I go to church and I'm going to be gone for, you know, a good part of the day, then I have to cage them if they're flying. Now, she starts to take some flights, but I still haven't caged her yet because she usually just flies over to the kitchen spot here where I feed her, and I have gotten up a couple mornings late and she's like sitting over there. So she's, or when I come downstairs, she'll make a flight over there, and that just kind of tells me I'm hungry, you know. So it's kind of cool when you see their behaviors like that. But I want to show you a little bit. I think this is the reason why, how they get so socialized. So that makes a difference. Then a lot of breeders, of course, I'm just a small-time guy, right? I mean, this is where, right here, what you see is where I raise my babies. Now downstairs I have, you know, dedicated to, you know, I got, you know, 15 breeding cages and stuff like that. So that's, but this is the nursery here, my kitchen. And so let's go see this and meet Mia. And I want to show you why. Because she's with me, you know, a good portion of the day, and so and I'm just marking where I have this camera. All right, let's go over here and see her. And Mia, how you doing, babe? Hi. So see, this is pretty much, she goes from, you know, they start off in the incubator. Of course, this is where I hatch them. Then they go to, it's an aquarium, a 10-gallon aquarium brooder. When they get too big with that, then they go to here, probably at about 5 weeks. So, and of course, I got toys, and I got her little soft plush toys. And then the other thing I do is I use this tool here. See this 2x4. I use this tool to approach her at feeding time. That really helps out a lot, I think, as far as training her. It's something that she can get used to. Oh, this is what we do. We're going to go eat, and I've mentioned this before in my videos. Oh, sorry, I got this thing on a tripod too. It's a little. Here, I'll just set it down and show you. Let me set it down. Okay. Now, when I grab this tool and bring it up to her, you know, she readily gets on it. Come on, babe. There you go. Good. Well, good girl. So, let's go back. Tried to clean up the house a little bit before I did this video. Oh, somebody grabbed my marker. Isn't that funny? One of the dogs, she grabbed it. I put a sponge on the floor and she grabbed it. Hey, let's lighten up the area here. Let's see. I think this should be a pretty good spot. This is Mia. Oh, Mia, what are you doing? People get kind of excited when, let me get the, sorry, I'm kind of unorganized here today. People get kind of excited when they do this this business. I have learned, okay, and this is not just the males that do this. The females rarely do this displaying excitement. And of course, cockatoos are so smart of birds, and they get, yeah, they're very excitable. But that's because they're so smart, and they just they're so social. And this is, if you've had a ringneck or a cockatiel or I want to say a conure or other small parrots, and you're just making your first step into the big bird arena, you will find there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on here with these guys. And cockatoos are kind of cool because they don't, like Mia is a really sweet girl, and she's like an African gray, you know, can get very territorial. They want to latch on to one person. They can get very nippy. And I'm not saying that a cockatoo will never nip, you know, when they get older. I've never seen my babies nip, you know, at this age. That's kind of like a learned response to fear and aggression and hormones and all these things, I think, you know. But what I find is that the cockatoos are just extremely smart and sociable. And I think from what you can see now, the way that I approach it personally, you see how I raise her. She's always involved with what I'm doing, but she's not the center of attention. And that, I think, is the important distinction. When you make them the center of attention and you devote, let's say you devote an hour, 2 hours a day to them being the center of attention, then you can create a screaming cockatoo. But she is very happy, and she's like, now she's raised, let me get this focus on her. She's raised up to understand that she's involved with everything that I'm doing here in the kitchen, but she has her space. And she learns to be happy with that. And the fact that she's free flight, she can, you know, I think that's actually pretty cool that a bird this big that can fly, that I don't have to cage yet. And that's pretty interesting, actually, when you think about it. It's such a cool way to raise them. So they don't just, like, as soon as they're big enough to get in a cage, get in a cage. It's like I only wait till the last minute. And then, of course, I don't know, you can see it in the video in the background, but it's way back there. It's a very large cage. It's the Silverado. It's the Preview Silverado. I love that cage for a cockatoo because you can have a couple of them in there and they can still all spread their wings. So Mia is, she is hand feeding twice a day, and she's just starting to nibble at her regular food. And come on, babe, come on up, come here. She's really not all up into stepping up and all this yet. Come here. One of the things I notice, they'll clutch really hard when they have a certain amount of fear. But if you just give them a second, and you'll feel the tension on those feet release. Come here, babe. She's still clutching me pretty hard here. Come on, baby. Come on. Come here. Ow. Thanks. She's a good girl. Come here. Come here. Let's see your face. All right. Come here, baby. This is going to be a long video, isn't it? So, this is Mia. She's a pretty girl. Yes. Are you interested? You interested in me? What a baby. You gotta remember, 10 weeks old is still pretty young. She's unstable on her feet. She can fly, but she doesn't really take advantage of that too much yet. So she's you can see how awesome it is to have such a big bird. Some of my friends that have never really seen big birds and don't really understand the concept of a bird being cuddly. Now, bird owners know this, especially how soft and how sociable that they are. It's so cool. I mean, really, it's a once in a lifetime kind of a thing when you get a baby like this, and to be your friend for life. It's kind of hard for me to let go almost every baby. I fall in love with every baby, and it's just like, oh, you know what? If I don't sell this one, I'll just keep her. She'll be my baby. But if I did that, I'd have like 50, 60 birds around here, which I can't do it. But I still love them like a parent, and as like most parents, I learned to let them go when it's time to let them go. And like your teenagers and stuff like that, you're usually pretty happy by the time they move out. You got other things to do. They got their own life, and you're ready. And so usually what happens is that I get another baby going that I have to pay attention to. It's like, okay, you need to find a home, someone who's going to just love you to pieces like I do. So folks, that is my extended video. It's a good thing I have Vimeo. I can upload these very long videos. But this is kind of a long one for today. But meet Mia, Mia, my baby. I love Mia. So folks, thanks for listening, and thanks for watching. Bye.